Hello dear students, I am Samir Velankar. I welcome all of you to this video which is based on the topic recurrence relation. Now this recurrence relation which we are going to see is of the form decreasing function. You will shortly notice what is meant by decreasing function in terms of the topic recurrence relation. But actually whenever we have a recursive function and we are asked what is the time complexity of the recursive function, then recursive function can be analyzed or time complexity of recursive function can be found by writing recurrence relation. First of all, we will have to build a recurrence relation if some recursive function is given. Now let's start. There is a recursive function given which is named as sum. You observe sum has a parameter int n, and sum is a recursive function because within the body of the sum function there is a call to sum again. I missed out a semicolon here, sorry. Just assume semicolon here. So some function is calling itself, but look at this. Sum starts with the data size of n. Look at the parameter passed to sum, int n. So if we pass the value of n to this sum function, then sum calls itself again with the parameter n minus 1. Observe. That means sum 4, suppose n is 4, then sum 4 will call sum 3, sum 3 will call sum 2, sum 2 will call sum 1, but when sum 1 will be called, n will be 1, correct? And when n is 1, this if statement which I am encircling will become true because n is 1 and the function will return 1. Otherwise, if n is not 1, like if it was 4, 3, 2, then else will execute and it will return n plus sum of n minus 1. But important point to notice here is that the data size, that is n, is getting decreased by 1 due to each recursive call. Hence, we call these type of recurrence relation that we will get as decreasing functions. How do you write this sum function as a recurrence relation? Now, we introduce a notation Tn. Now, actually, I could have written instead of Tn, I could have written sum n because the name of the function is sum and it has a parameter n. But instead of such a big name like sum, not so big, but instead of naming the function like this sum, we have named our function as t. So we have renamed it just like that and we have written tn. That means we are solving some problem of size n. Then we write tn is equal to tn minus 1 plus 1. Now let's see how we got this recurrence relation. Whenever we call the function with parameter n, and if n is not 1, if n is 2, 3, 4, anything greater than 1, then you know else runs. And in the else we have n plus sum of n minus 1. So that means there is one addition, isn't it? One addition involved in this operation here. Now one addition is represented here in this formula, recurrence formula, as this one, last one which I have written. That means we want to say that if n is not 1, if it is 2, 3, 4, anything greater than 1, then there is one addition involved plus, let's see what else is involved. There is one recursive call, sum n minus 1. So one recursive call is there. But the function is called just by reducing the data size by 1. That means Tn can be represented in terms of Tn minus 1. This is sum of n minus 1 plus 1 addition, isn't it? Plus 1 addition, and we got this recurrence relation. But then this recurrence relation is true if n is greater than 1. Now what if n is 1? If n is 1, then if statement becomes true and the function simply returns 1, there is no recurrence or no recursion involved when n is 1. So we can write Tn is simply 1 if n is 1. Now, what does this one mean, which I am encircling here? See, if n is 1, then the function returns 1, isn't it? And that return statement, which is executing if n is 1, that return statement takes 1 unit of time. We are assuming that it takes 1 unit of time. Or you can say return 1 is simply one statement, isn't it? So that is why this 1 has been written over here. Any way you look at it, it is 1 unit of time it takes, or there is one statement return 1. That is why we have said Tn should be equal to 1. It takes 1 unit of time if n is 1. So we can even say like this: T1 is 1, putting n as 1 here, isn't it? If n is 1, then time complexity T1 is 1. I hope you got this. So that's why the recurrence relation written over here, you watch, recurrence relation for this recursive function is Tn is equal to Tn minus 1 plus 1 if n is greater than 1, but Tn is 1 if n is equal to 1. That means, remember, T1 is simply 1. If you put the value of n as 1, the amount of time is simply 1 unit, correct or not? So now you know this recurrence relation has to be solved. Please try to understand what do you mean by solving recurrence relation. It's a very funny exercise I am giving you, that if I ask you, tell me what is the value of T4, let's say T4. So you will put n as 4 and you will say T4 is T3 plus 1. Yes, because Tn is simply Tn minus 1 plus 1. But then somebody asking you this question will get irritated. You were asked what is the value of T4 and you represented T4 in terms of T3. But what is the value of T3 then? So you will then answer that T3 is T2 plus 1. Now this is really very, very frustrating, isn't it? Still you are not answering. You were asked what is T3 and you told that T3 is in terms of T2 plus 1. But hello, what is T2? That means this is not the answer. This recurrence relation is not the answer because Tn is represented in terms of Tn minus 1. So you have to solve this recurrence relation and you will have to give some single answer, you can say, in terms of some polynomial, that what is the time complexity represented by this recurrence relation. Okay, I'll just erase the screen. Let's see how to solve this particular problem and how to solve the recurrence relation. There is a method called substitution method. We will solve the recurrence relation by substitution method in this video. There are other techniques also to solve recurrence relation, like Master's theorem, and there is a tree method to solve recurrence relation. But in this video, we will see substitution, method of substitution. So let's solve. I have written the same recurrence relation. Tn is Tn minus 1 plus 1, the recurrence relation which we had got. Okay, we have numbered this as 1. Now you only observe this. Tn is Tn minus 1 plus 1, isn't it? So if you are asked what is Tn minus 1, that's the suspense on the right hand side, isn't it? What is Tn minus 1? So you will simply say Tn minus 1. Yes, the problem size gets reduced by 1, isn't it? So this is Tn minus 2 plus 1. I hope you are understanding it. Basically, Tn, I will rewrite it here. Tn is Tn minus 1 plus 1. You know this. This is the recurrence relation. Now you are asked what is Tn minus 1. Then simply substitute n as n minus 1. So this left hand side becomes Tn minus 1. And you will be putting this n, this Tn minus 1 n, as n minus 1 here, because each n is replaced with n minus 1. So obviously this right hand side becomes Tn minus 2 because it is n minus 1 minus 1, and then this plus 1 remains. So that's what I have written. I am encircling it. Tn minus 1 is nothing but Tn minus 2 plus 1. I hope you are understanding it. So I'll again erase the slate. You just check this. We started with our basic recurrence relation. Then we saw what is Tn minus 1. Tn minus 1 is simply Tn minus 2 plus 1. Now we substitute the value of Tn minus 1. That's method of substitution. Simply substitute value of Tn minus 1 in equation 1. Watch this. This Tn minus 1 value, this one, right hand side, Tn minus 2 plus 1 is replaced here. This is Tn minus 1, which is nothing but Tn minus 2 plus 1. So we get Tn is equal to Tn minus 2 plus 1. Observe this again, which I am encircling. This is Tn minus 1, isn't it? So we have simply put the value and plus 1 remains from our equation 1. Hence, Tn becomes Tn minus 2 plus 2, isn't it? But then again, what is Tn minus 2? I'll again erase the slate. Check this latest equation. We have numbered it as equation 2. But on this right hand side, what is this Tn minus 2 now? Yes, exactly. Tn minus 2 is nothing but Tn minus 3 plus 1. Simply reduce the data size by 1, correct or not? And the second term plus 1 will be there as in the recurrence relation. So now substitute the value of Tn minus 2, this value in equation 2. So after substituting the value of Tn minus 2 in equation 2, we will get Tn is equal to Tn minus 3 plus 1. Observe this. Tn minus 3 plus 1 is nothing but Tn minus 2. So we have substituted that value. Plus 2 remains, isn't it? That plus 2 which we had in equation 2 remains. Hence Tn becomes Tn minus 3 plus 3. Now if you continue this process, don't you see that we are getting some pattern over here, some general equation we are getting? It is Tn is equal to Tn minus k plus k. Like we will get Tn minus 4 plus 4, Tn minus 5 plus 5, isn't it? So we will get Tn is equal to Tn minus k plus k. Let's number this as equation number k. Now starts the fun part. You see, now this will go on for ages, isn't it? If we continue doing this, Tn minus 5, Tn minus 6, Tn minus 7, this will continue. But when is this going to stop? Here comes the fun part. We have a base case. This is called as a base case. For T1, answer is 1. That is, if you put n as 1 in the equation, then answer is 1. That's our recurrence relation, base case, isn't it? Now, how do you achieve this? How do you achieve this? Now you watch this. In the last equation, equation number k, we got the right hand side as Tn minus k. This is what we got, Tn minus k plus k. This was Tn. Now somehow, we want this to become T1. This term should become T1. Why we are interested in T1? Because T1 is 1. We know the answer. We know a solid answer for T1. Now it is not in terms of T again. T1 is 1. So we want somehow that this Tn minus k should become T1. That means whatever is written in the bracket here, n minus k, isn't it? N minus k is written in the bracket, should become 1. So n minus k should be 1. If n minus k becomes 1, then only we will get T1, isn't it? But then if n minus k should be 1, then k should be n minus 1. I hope you are understanding, isn't it? Because you see, n was our problem size, and who is suspense here? K is suspense. N is not suspense. N is going to be passed by the operator or the user or whoever is calling this function. N is our problem size, but k is the suspense. K is a variable, and we should then find out the value of k. And we have substituted n minus k should become 1. That means k should become n minus 1. So that's what I have written in the next point here. We know that T1 is 1. So we want Tn minus k to become T1. I will again erase the slate. We want Tn minus k, that is right hand side of equation k, to become T1. That means n minus k should become equal to 1. That means n minus k is 1, so k is n minus 1. Now the last step is substitute the value of k in equation number k. Okay, I'll write that equation number k again. Tn is Tn minus k plus k. Now you know k is simply n minus 1. So put the value of k over here. So this becomes t of n minus 1, correct? Plus, and you know k is n minus 1, isn't it? So you will put n minus 1. Okay, I hope you got it. So what is Tn? You observe this. Tn is Tn minus of n minus 1 plus n. Okay, this should be n minus 1 because k is n minus 1. Okay. But then what happens to this term? N minus 1, it simply becomes T1. Good. N and minus 1 gets cancelled. N and minus n gets cancelled. So T1 plus n minus 1. Oh, how I forgot this n minus 1. Okay, because k was n minus 1. So, but we know that T1 is simply 1, and what remains is n minus 1, isn't it? N minus 1. So Tn becomes equal to n. Hope you are getting it. Now, what will you write if you get Tn equal to n? Now, Tn equal to n is simply a polynomial of degree 1. Hence, we can write Tn is equal to big O of n, isn't it? You know this. If we get a polynomial of degree d, then you write O n raised to d. So Tn is of the order of n. So time complexity of this recursive function is order of n. Now assume that in some other example, we got finally, we got something like this. Tn is equal to n plus 100, suppose. Like here we were lucky that we got Tn equal to n. So simple it was for us. But if in some other example, if we got Tn is equal to n plus 100, this is still a polynomial of degree 1. So still we will write Tn is equal to n. Just observe, if we got n plus 1000, let's say, in some example, then still it is a polynomial of degree 1. So we'll write Tn is equal to on. Okay. Yeah, I agree that I made a small mistake here while substituting the value of k. Just observe, the value of k is n minus 1. So this was correct. Here it is n minus 1 because this was plus k, isn't it? So this is n minus 1, T1 plus n minus 1, but T1 is 1. So plus n minus 1, minus 1 plus 1 gets cancelled. So we get Tn is equal to n, which is a polynomial of degree 1. Hence Tn is equal to n. I hope you have understood method of substitution. There are many videos coming up on this substitution method. At least 5 examples I am going to solve on the substitution method, and then we will see a general pattern how to quickly know what will be the complexity of a recurrence relation just by watching the recurrence relation. Thank you very much.